Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Paige, welcome. And today we're going to be talking about the diagnostic criteria for Hypermobile Ehlers Danlos syndrome. If you did not know, this month is May. It is EDS Awareness Month, and I'm going to be putting up new content every Friday, and it's all going to be related to Ehlers Danlos syndrome. And today we're going to be talking about the diagnostic criteria for my specific type, which is Hypermobile Ehlers Danlos syndrome. I've already done a video about how I got to my diagnosis, like my personal journey to getting diagnosed, and I'll link that above. But this video is going to be about what you go through in the doctor's office when you're being diagnosed for EDS. This criteria goes through hypermobility, it goes through family history, it has a lot of stuff that it touches on. So we're gonna actually pull it up, look at it, and go through each thing. So if you're interested, please keep watching. And there's like two different diagnostic criterias. There's an old one that's outdated, and then there's this new one, and it started in 2017. That's when the new criteria came out, and it made diagnosing EDS a little bit easier. So why don't we just pull it up and get started? I actually found all of this information on the Ehlers Danlos Society website, and I will put that website in the description box as well. If you want to check it out, there's a lot of information about EDS there. So at the top of this, it says that the clinical diagnosis of hypermobile EDS needs the simultaneous presence of all criteria, 1, 2, and 3. So you have to get the yes, you're diagnosed in all 3 criterias to get your final diagnosis. So criterion 1 says generalized joint hypermobility. So this is going to be just assessing hypermobility. How hypermobile are you? And we're going to go through this. So the first thing is the Beighton score. The Beighton score is your assessment of flexibility, and it asks to pull back your pinky, and if it goes more than 90 degrees back, like mine does, it just is very flexible, that's a point for each hand. And then your thumb, if your thumb touches your forearm like mine does, that's a point on each hand. And then if your elbows are hypermobile, they hyperextend, that's a point on each arm, and I actually missed those points. My elbows do not hyperextend. The next one is about the knees. It checks if your knees are hypermobile. I only have one knee that hyperextends, so I got 1 point for that. And then if you can touch the floor with both hands without bending your knees, that is a point as well. So it's out of 9, and I score a 6. You need a 5 at my age to be diagnosed. If you are above 50, you need a 4, and if you are a child, you would need a score of 6. Oh, and then there are questions underneath the Beighton score, and I'm going to read those out. Can you now, or could you ever, place your hands flat on the floor without bending your knees? Can you now, or could you ever, bend your thumb to your forearm? Because sometimes when you're hypermobile, you have hypermobile EDS, your joints will lock up. So if you could at one point touch the ground like that, you were hypermobile, but now maybe you have bad hips because of your hypermobility, then you would answer like these questions, if that makes sense, so that they know that you used to be able to do these things. Anyways, As a child, did you amuse your friends by contorting your body into strange shapes, or could you ever do the splits? This one's actually really funny because I used to freak people out with my finger thing. My finger touches the back of my hand. I used to do the splits anytime that me and my friends were dancing. I have a video. It is the cringiest thing. But for my 8th birthday party, we had like a pop princess party where we all like got made over at my house, like Libby Lou style, if you know what Libby Lou is. And we made like music videos, and I burned DVDs and handed them out to everybody. And in every one, I'm like trying to do the splits or a round off. I thought I was so cool. The next question is, as a child or a teenager, did your shoulder or kneecap dislocate on more than one occasion? Oh my goodness. In high school, as a teenager, my shoulder would pop out all the time at cheer, and I would go against, there was like a padded wall in the upper gym where we practiced, and I would like pop it back in, get back in my stunt group and be like, let's go. And everyone would look at me like, what? Are you okay? And then the last question is, do you consider yourself double jointed? Yes. So that is criteria 1, generalized joint hypermobility. We are going to move on to criteria 2, which is just a big checklist. It's a big checklist, and you have to get 2 or more of the following features. So there's an A, a B, and a C, and 2 of them must be present to get a check on, yes, you pass criteria 2. And in feature A, 5 things must be present, and the list is unusually soft or velvety skin, mild skin hyperextensibility, so that's stretchy skin. And my skin is kind of stretchy, but it's not as stretchy as I've seen some other people. Like some people can really like stretch their skin out far. Unexplained. Oh, this is about stretch marks. I can show you mine. I don't mind. See that good. Those are my zebra stripes. Bilateral. Oh, the papules of the heel. There's little like bumps in your heel. I think that's what that is talking about. When I walk, you can hear them on the floor going like, it's kind of gross. So if I'm not wearing slippers, you can totally hear me coming because I have cracking heels. Recurrent or multiple abdominal hernias. Atrophic scarring involving at least 2 sites and without the formation of, oh my goodness, this is so, atrophic scarring. Okay, I don't have atrophic scarring. I had to look up what that was. I'll put up a picture of what that looks like. This is more common in like classical EDS, I'm pretty sure. And then pelvic floor, rectal, and or uterine prolapse in children, men, or what's that word? Women? So pelvic floor issues, dental crowding, or a high or narrow palate. So a dentist could actually tell you that you have EDS by the shape of your mouth. And I do have dental crowding. Oh, this one is, can you do this on both sides? I'm pretty sure. Or maybe there's the backwards one. I can do that too. This one's harder because I popped this one out. Oh, arm span to height ratio. So if your arm span, like from fingertip to fingertip, is longer than your height, then that would be a check. Mitral valve prolapse, mild or greater. Okay, I've never had a mitral valve prolapse, thankfully. Aortic root dilation with a Z-score of greater than +2. I've never had one of those either. So you have to get 5 of those to pass that section. Feature B is a positive family history. So do you have a history of EDS? I do not. I do not know what side it comes from. I have my suspicions, but I'm not sure. So I did not get that one. And then feature C, you must have at least one of these things: musculoskeletal pain in 2 or more limbs recurring daily for at least 3 months, chronic widespread pain for more than 3 months, recurrent joint dislocations or frank joint instability in the absence of trauma. And I said, check, check, check. So out of those last 3 features, you have to pass 2 of them to get the okay to move on to the next one. And I pass A and C. And then criteria 3, all of these things must be, all of the following prerequisites must be met. So you have to have all 3 of these things to get the diagnosis. And they are absence of unusual skin fragility, which would mean you have other types of EDS. You can't have another type of EDS and have HEDS. You can only have one type. And all of the other types, by the way, you can get a genetic test for. This is the only one that is a diagnostic criteria. Exclusion of other heritable connective tissue disorders. So you can't have other connective tissue disorders and have this. You can only have one, you know. And I don't. That's why I'm at this point. I have come back with multiple tests saying, you're normal, it's in your head. And now this is saying, okay, if you have none of these things, then this is probably what you have. And exclusion of alternative diagnoses that may also include joint hypermobility. So yeah, there's really no other explanation as to why I'm so bendy. Yeah, that's the 2017 diagnostic criteria for Hypermobile Ehlers Danlos syndrome. And when I first got this done, I went through this diagnosis first with my specialist and then with my GP. When this was finally in my chart, I think I cried, like happy tears, because I had been looking for a diagnosis. I'm not a diagnosis seeker, by the way. I was not like looking for something to be wrong with me. I was looking for answers as to why I was feeling this way. And getting this diagnosis just made me feel so at peace, because I knew that it was not in my head and that I know my body. I know when something's wrong and something was wrong. So yeah, if you relate to these things, bring it up with your doctor. Print out the criteria, bring it in and ask to go through it. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I had to do, because a lot of doctors don't even know where to find this diagnostic criteria. Because if they did, why wasn't it on their screen years ago when I came in with all of this pain? Anyways, I hope that this video was informative. I hope that you guys enjoy all of my content that's coming this month for EDS Awareness Month. Yeah, I hope that you learned something today. And I will see you next Friday with a new video, and I hope you guys have a great day. I can't talk today, oh my goodness. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye, see you next Friday.